I'm your one and only Lady G.U.N.S, which means I'm absolutely greatness under no stipulation. Boom. There we go.
I didn't want you to do it in slow motion. I was ready to fall back. Go ahead, do it again. And the smoke clears. And I am Miss Divine.
And I am yours truly, Deborah G.
Got choked by the smoke. That's what it was. I got choked by the gun.
My head's
smoke.
full of smoke. We talk
She
about
said my head full of smoke.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I just all the stuff that we talk about during break and
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah,
time
it
to
is.
process.
That's why we back.
Right. And I'm okay. So
Who else we have over here to the far
Innocent
left?
bystander.
Innocent bystander. Right. Pastor
Bernard
Bernard
is in the house.
Pastor.
Because prior to break, we were talking about marriage and relationships as
And polyester. Polyesterism.
like that. Yeah.
excuse her polygamy.
Polygamy. There you go. Yes, that thing.
We were not talking about fabric.
Oh.
That causes breathing room and perspiration.
Right.
And a
That thing.
sign when you walk.
No, Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
So polygamy,
Polygamy.
according to Wikipedia, whoever is saying what?
Polygamy is the act or condition of a person marrying another person while still being lawfully married to another spouse. As this is the very definition of bigamy, it is illegal in the United States. However, in the state of Utah, sister wives, where they there is only one marriage, but they all operate as multiple wives
So
to
it
one
says,
man.
it does say that
Are they all sisters?
the Utah show Sister Wives proves it goes on anyway. So although it's illegal, many people engage in such.
Are they sisters? Like SISTAH? Are they sisters?
They're not biological sisters.
No. Are they sisters?
No,
are they black?
No, they are not from Wakanda. They are not from Wakanda.
Utah. Okay.
It's Utah, baby. It's Utah. It's
that's
Utah.
Just saying.
No, they are not from Wakanda.
She's taking a picture.
Oh,
Jeez.
So we have to interrupt our broadcast for her to be able to do her job.
Oh, that's amazing.
Pastor Bernard, you
And
gonna
we're
say cheese?
back.
And actually,
All right.
so I use the word bigamy. Bigamy is when someone attempts to legally marry more than one person. Polygamy is when you're married to one person, but you have multiple spoken wives. So not necessarily.
You're not legal
On
on paper. Right.
So it was both polygamy and.
But isn't it with the Morphins or Mormons? Thank you, bless God. Them folk, don't they like all live in a hood where they just
In a hut?
A HUD. She said a HUD.
Oh, I thought you said a
I
hut.
just said a
like
HUD.
where they just
yes,
actually have multiple
yes.
wives too? So what's that called? Because they're
It's the
their
same
own.
thing.
No. They're their own. They have their own laws. They don't have to be governed by the laws of.
But they don't register anything, so nothing is legal. So
It's
nothing
right
is on
here.
paper.
Right.
In 1862, the United States Congress passed the Moral Anti-Bigamy Act, which prohibited plural marriage in the territories. In spite of the law, Mormons continue to practice
Polygamy.
believing that it was protected by their First Amendment.
Right. So people do polygamy, they just can't do bigamy, which is illegal.
Absolutely.
Because you can't marry on paper more than one person, although people have more than one person, 19%, according to the statistics here, within their home practicing marriage.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Shouldn't
So
have ate
Pastor
them in front of
Bernard.
me.
Yes, sir.
What do you have to say about that?
Very interesting.
Thank you.
I know I couldn't do it. I've been married almost 31 years. I'm pretty sure my wife would not put up with another person trying to be Mrs. Penn.
You've been married 31
Thank you
years.
so much.
31 years, August 13th.
Congratulations.
Bless God for that.
But that's 31 years later.
31 years.
What if we reverse 31 years ago?
You still wasn't gonna have it.
I could never see myself being more than one person.
No. Hold on. I got something to throw in there.
Okay.
What if the wife to be or wife that wants to be is a multi-millionaire and said, no, listen, and says, I will make both of y'all lives easier if I could be a part of y'all family. If I could be a second wife, not the first wife, Just a second.
Look
wife.
at she's like
Multi-millionaire.
You got that Jeopardy
Y'all ain't
look on her face. Dum, dum, dum,
Y'all ain't got a word.
Wait,
Y'all ain't gotta
wait,
do nothing.
Miss Divine, do you see how hard he turned his back?
He turned his back and everything.
Like, I got to go home.
I need you to find another question.
Find something else to talk
Question,
about.
please.
How much we talking?
I mean, I'm just saying. Most of them
saying on the radio
He was like, I'm a blink twice. Yes.
Right. I like it. Most of America would go for that real quick.
We're in a day and age, however, that a lot of the principles, precepts that have been taught through Scripture, unfortunately, are not lived out
True.
today.
That is true.
So, because America is going to hell in a handbasket,
Yes.
How do you know?
what is
why
the
not?
answer?
Why in a handbasket? Hold on. Why in a handbasket?
Because
Why
you
can't-
burn up
why,
a whole
why
lot
not
faster.
in a
because
wagon?
it's straw. The handbasket's made out of straw, so it burns faster as you go to hell. Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking with it.
Very good. Very good. All right,
Now that we
sir.
got that out the way.
We're going to let Pastor Bernard answer that question. When you stop making him laugh, this man can't get a word out.
Well, I believe.
I can fly.
I believe I can touch the sky.
One day. Not today. I believe the
day.
problem with
on my
this
heart.
nation we have gotten away from having relationship. Because when you have true relationship with God or with a spouse, it makes it very hard to want to do anything to hurt that person.
That's right.
Hey, say that
When you have
one
true
more again.
relationship.
Say that one more again.
Yeah.
When you have true relationship, it makes it very hard and it should be very difficult for
That's
you to
right.
try to step out on your spouse. Same
Cause
thing
you
with
not
the
to want to
church.
smack her.
Same thing with God.
Yes.
Hey, oh, excuse me.
Same thing.
Close.
Because he is that good, he is that kind, he's that merciful. I have a issue when you have a father that gives good gifts, and he tells you so, he does. But there are too many times when we want it quick, fast, and easy rather than going through the process.
Microwavable.
And because, microwave relationship. When you go through the process, what I understand is, not only is God preparing what he has for you, but he's preparing you for it. Because it's like if my daughter who's 13 or 8 asks me for a car and I give her a car just because she asked me because I'm a father, I'm a foolish father because she has no...
She's not prepared for it.
She doesn't have the capability of handling it. And so many times what people do is they get confused, thinking because God didn't give me what I want when I asked for it, then he don't love me. No, he loves you so much that he didn't give it to you when you wanted it because he knew you couldn't handle it.
That's
I
right.
feel like you should hold your ear and say, one time on that one. You moved for a minute.
Right there. That was a word
So
right
I
there.
believe that's what's wrong with this nation because I cannot understand in this hour why so many evangelical Christians, so-called, are so happy with number 45 when this man has said what he does and how he treats women. And it's like his cohorts are doing the same thing. But you're so ready to, how should I say, demify an African-American man who's the husband of one wife. Showed us for 8 years how to be not only president, but also how to raise his daughters in a godly fashion.
Absolutely.
So I think our problem is we're confused.
Very.
And the thing is, and let's go back to what we were talking about a little earlier. I grew up in church. My grandmother kept me in church. There were 5 of us. We were called the Mitchell Boys because my mother was working third shift, so she couldn't go with us until they found out our names actually penned. We were there when nobody else
Called
was
you by
there.
somebody else's name.
My grandma was there. We were there when nobody else was there. But the thing is, as much as we fought against it and didn't like it and tried to rebel, it kept us out of trouble.
Right. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Not one of us wound up in jail.
That's right.
Not one of us seen a prison. Not one of us got strung out on drugs.
That's right.
Wow.
Not one of and what I have to say is not one of us did not have a successful or having a successful life. Now I have two younger brothers, both are ministers. One's a pastor in Connecticut, been married 31 years as well. Then I have a younger brother who's been in ministry who's been married now 20 years. So I believe the foundation that our grandmother and mother gave us now. And the thing is, I grew up with a mother who was single. There were 5 of us. 5 different fathers.
Ooh,
Okay.
5
interesting.
different fathers.
Stop it.
But
Before he starts, stop it.
He did it. Thank you.
but that was before Mom knew who the Lord was.
Right, absolutely.
And that's the one thing about God is this: He is always faithful to forgive.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And is that the reason why people take advantage?
I believe
Oh, well,
that
you know,
is.
I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do my
You know,
own
do
thing.
things.
But you know,
Come back.
he's graceful, and you know, he has grace, and he'll forgive, and you know, he loves me.
The
I
best
just
one
had
is
that
God knows my heart.
And you know what? I just had this conversation with a friend of mine a few days back. There's a difference between asking forgiveness and repenting. It says that you should ask forgiveness and repent of your evil ways. And repenting means
To
to
turn.
turn away from
Turn,
it,
right.
not to go
Repeat.
right back to it.
Right.
Repeat. Right.
But a lot of people are going off this, how should I say, mercy.
Right, right.
People got mercy confused. They feel like mercy does not run out. Well, guess what? There is a time of limitation that does run out. And people need to understand that you can go but so far. It's just like mom and dad. Mom and dad have certain rules. If you can't do it this way, then you need to get out my house.
Absolutely.
So how you get out God's house?
So you
The earth is the Lord
Where do you
and the
go?
fullness thereof.
who have walked away. I'll put it this way: when I was growing up, a lot of the kids that I was dealing with, kept saying, "I cannot wait until I get grown, so I don't have to go to church."
Right.
Well, I felt the same way, and the thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you. When football season was going on,
Oh Lord, he
I
wanted
was a
them.
backslider. I was home watching my Giants. My grandma used to say, "Boy, when you gonna go to church?" When the
When season's over, that's a shame.
But I'm being honest.
But you knew it. But you knew it so
That
well.
was me.
Right, because I know other people. It just wasn't my story. I grew up in church, loved church, still in church, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, the whole nine. I'm a church boy. So I know where I could have been and what I could have gotten into. But by His grace, His mercy, He has kept me, saved me. There's a whole lot of things that I've seen other folk get engaged in and get involved with, but that is not my testimony. So my testimony is that He kept me.
Yeah.
I ain't get run through the muck and the mire and rough side of the mountain and got AIDS and lost a leg and got cancer and got
'Cause
this and got
you
that.
have to be the ear and the counsel for people that you come in contact with almost every day who have these stories about their past
Yes,
that
Lord.
they've gone. And I know you've shared some with me before, and I'm like, are you serious? People have gone through that? It's like, yes, this is not a movie. This is people, real life people,
Real
walking
life.
in and out of the radio station, coming here, sharing their
Lifetime.
heart and their past,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
just needing healing.
that is true.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that you have to be prepared in season and out of season. You have to be prayed up on a daily basis because you never know who you're going
Yeah.
to encounter.
Absolutely.
And the level of ministry that you may have to provide to them because you don't know what situation and circumstances that they've gone through and are still dealing with. So if not us, then who? And if not now, then when? And if not for this cause, what cause do we share the love of Christ?
Now, in learning ministry, I used to have a problem with everywhere I went, I would run into somebody, mostly strangers, that needed a word. And I'm not talking, I'm not, some of it prophetic, some of it not. And I'd be like, Lord God, can I go to the store? Can I? And so one day I went to get me and my mother something to eat. And I was like, couldn't wait to get my food and go home and eat my fish. What? And this girl just walks up to the car. Can I ask y'all something? I was like, really? Not
My
on
food
fish
is gonna
day.
get hot.
And I ended up
Right.
talking to her and ministering to her and then praying for her.
What she want?
She
That might be
wanted
for another show. We're out of time. We're out of time, sir.
Yeah, it was simply,
Yeah.
the men questions and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
Way to find
she
one.
was homeless. She was homeless, but I realized that was my ministry.
Define
that
men
is
for
awesome.
women.
You know what?
Pastor Bernard, how can people get in
How can
contact
people
with
get in
you, sir?
contact with you, sir?
Well, we
went
don't
back
have
to
a
his humble
website
voice.
at the moment, but you can look me up on Facebook, Bishop B. Penn at yahoo.com.
Bishop
B. Penn at yahoo.
PENN.
at yahoo.com. We're getting ready to relaunch ministry. I am excited about what God is doing. Because even with the ministry that we're launching right now, we're also getting ready for the fellowship that we have, having our 3rd annual convocation, which will be the first weekend in November. So we'll be coming. I have a couple of ministries here in North Carolina, as well as California and Ohio, that will be joining us.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Awesome.
And what can people expect during the revival?
It's about having an open relationship with God. We want to see His manifested presence, because that's what we need in this hour. I don't want just His hand, I want His heart.
Not to be confused with an open relationship with your spouse.
Not to be correct.
Okay.
Father.
Okay.
Relationship with
Okay.
your
'Cause
spouse.
Can a
sometimes people
revival
can
start
confuse that.
now?
Take us out.
We need a revival
Family,
now.
you have been tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media,
The
voice of the community.
Sit down.
What? I just wanted people to be confused.
Which one of y'all got blessed oil in y'all pocket? I know you got some blessed oil at all times.
What Zoom was that? What Zoom was that?